All right, folks, welcome back to Kings of Opinion, episode 39. The usual suspects are here with me as always. Got the Wander and Ernie. Say hello, folks.
Hello.
Welcome back, fam.
All right, so I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I know we mentioned the streaming services going crazy.
Right.
And this is my little quick hit of Orion's rant today. I'm
Infinite content?
Yeah, so it's not even, I don't know. So I'm at the gym today, and I started to wanting to watch Top Boy, right?
Yeah.
So I get on my elliptical, whatever, and I go to turn on Netflix, and a message comes up. This is not part of your plan or your home device or whatever. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this has been my home device, like it's my phone. I'm like, this has been I've been part of Netflix since it pretty much came out.
Right.
I'm like, what the hell's going on? So then it says, oh, if you want a temporary passcode so you could watch Netflix for 2 weeks, like 14 days, just click this button and go. So I do that because now I like want to watch the show. So I'm like, I want to get on the Netflix. Like, I guess I got like OCD like that. Like once you tell me I can't do something, like I need to get onto it. So I do it. It gives me the code, and I'm like, now in 2 weeks, what am I gonna do? Like, I gotta call up Netflix. So I'm on my way home. I talk to Netflix, and not that they're the greatest or worst customer service, but you get some person on there, whatever. They look at your services. They're like, oh, okay. What'd you say the error message is? I'm like, somewhere it's not in my household or whatever. Like, I can't get onto my Netflix, and it's my phone. Like, it should automatically be a part of my household, right?
Right.
So I'm like, what is going on? So she's giving me all these options, but like she's talking so fast. I'm like, do me a favor, stop. Let me ask you a question, you answer it, and we move forward from there. You know?
She's just like reading from a script. Or
that, and she's like looking up my
definitely.
thing, and I'm like, she's like, yeah, you gotta sign in with your TV. I'm like, I don't have a smart.
phone?
Yeah, I'm like, are you listening? Like, I'm telling you, it was my phone, and she's like, oh, hold on a second, and you hear her typing on the computer, and she pulls it.
That's a different script.
She didn't even realize that.
Right, so she's doing that, and she's like, then she tells me, oh wait, you gotta do the same thing. When you get home, you gotta go onto your TV. I'm like, I no longer have a smart TV. My TV is over 10 years old. I have a PlayStation.
The thing with the QR code?
Not even, like, I don't even know, because I wanted to try and do it before you guys got here.
Right.
She was like, I'll send you an email. It's very easy. All you gotta do is go in there, go to your household, reset it, and then once you reset the TV, it'll link up all your devices. And I'm like, okay. Like, doesn't seem like it makes sense to me. So like,
how did your device get disconnected?
right. So
that's what we
right.
The question.
So she's like, well, I see here you have a family members plan where whatever. I'm like, yeah, my parents are on that. She's like, are they signed in under your account? Because maybe that's why you got kicked off. I'm like, honestly, I don't remember. Like months ago, I added them to the plan because I lost the DVD service. So instead, I got them on the plan, and they sent my parents an email, and I signed them into the Netflix under their account. She's like, oh, okay, so make sure they're not on your account. So I stop off at my parents' house. My dad's like, yeah, I have a password and an account on you know, like the computer, but he's like, on the TV, I can't get off of your account. And I'm like, all right. So I sit there with him for a few minutes. I get him to sign out. I get him to sign in on his account. So they're good there. They're under their own Netflix account under my full account, which is good. Now I just got to worry about getting my phone set up. I guess I got to do like, she sent me an email, read the steps, whatever. So I'll go on the PlayStation Netflix and try and figure that out if I can, you know, after the show. But I'm like, how does it just get automatically disconnected? And now of all times, because this happened months ago, my parents have been on that thing for months. All of a sudden,
maybe
the 8th?
Maybe they're cracking down on like the amount of devices you can use.
I think that's what it is.
I had a similar issue with mine. Like my sister always used it, but then like when she moved, all of a sudden it became like, you know, I couldn't get into my own thing, so I'm like, what's going on? And like, I'm terrible with all that troubleshooting, all that stuff. I'm like a dinosaur.
Yeah, I'm not great either.
So yeah.
That's why we got Ernie.
So yeah, I think we had to get like a updated plan or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what they do. Once they start
It's
seeing
just
that,
another paywall.
once they see it's being used at multiple different IP addresses, meaning your location, that's when they get you, because they're like, oh, well, he's set up at this address. Now it's being used at this address and this address. Something's going on.
Right. So I'm either gonna have to do that, like change my household to over here, which it should already be over here, or change my password because maybe someone else is using it somewhere else. Like, I don't know. She didn't even say that. Now when you guys are talking to me with it, now that's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe I gave it to one of our friends and I didn't realize it, and now they're using it and it kicked me off my phone.
Right, because they signed on to it recently. or
Right,
something.
and I haven't been on Netflix in like, I think it's like since Christmas Eve, so it's been like almost 2 weeks.
Wow.
Or it's been 2 weeks, let's say, right? So, you know, with that being said, maybe that's an option too, but first thing I'm gonna do is go in, figure out this household nonsense, and then after that, change my password, and then set up all my stuff all over again. But it's such a hassle, dude.
Yeah.
All these things.
Yep. All that, and then your bill will go up next month again, anyways.
Regardless.
Yeah, I mean, my bill already went up when I put them on plan.
Yeah.
It shouldn't go up anymore unless they just all go up for everybody. But it, like, Netflix is getting ridiculous, and I don't even know what I really watch on Netflix anymore. So it's like, at some point, like, it's just gonna be like, I'm gonna save myself whatever you're making me pay, you know? Because I have the standard plan. It's $24.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. For what?
It's crazy.
You know? But that was my issue earlier today. So that
I
was.
think most of the time we don't even realize how many different things we're paying subscriptions for half the time.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, think about it. Yeah, there's a lot of, apps and, yeah.
I mean, now there's so many things you can subscribe to. Once you do it for free once, and then they start billing you. Those are the people that have a problem, that just sign up for free for a month and then forget to cancel. I normally don't do that. Like, I'll either try and get it somewhere else, or I won't get it at all. You know, I only get it when it's absolutely necessary. But whatever. So yeah, that was that. So that's more work for me to do today after the show, which is fantastic. Because after yesterday's and Paul's birthday, which you missed, it was a disaster,
Yeah. Rough.
to say the
Happy
least.
birthday, Paul.
Yes, happy belated, even though we wished you a happy birthday yesterday, so whatever. But yeah, yesterday was week 18. There were a lot of games that meant something, which is kind of funny. I really thought that there was going to be like 6 or 7. It wound up being like probably like closer to 10 or 11 games that were somewhat important, like had some seeding,
Some way, shape, or form.
right? Some seeding relevances, or you win and you're in the playoffs, or you know you need help for the playoffs if you win. But you know, shockingly enough, the New York teams both won their games this weekend.
Giants were big in the first half. Was it 24?
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing?
yeah, it was a lot. I don't know what the final score was. 27-10.
And the Jets playing in the blizzard, pretty much.
Yeah, that was a cool looking game, but you really had to like really want to watch that game, which I think it was really only important to the guys that were playing that game.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like, I really didn't even care about it. I wanted to watch the Jaguar game because.
And it's questionable how important it was to even the guys playing in the game.
Right. Especially with all that snow too. At times you could barely see them play. Like, it was coming down so bad.
Yeah, the lens of the camera, it was struggling.
Yeah, it was like white, like at times. Like wherever some of these cameras were, you really couldn't see the plays that were happening. And Breece Hall had a hell of a game. I think he ran for like 178 yards, or at least had a total of 178 yards.
Yeah, so he had like he broke like a 50-yard.
Yeah, he had a good last game, which is good. But you know, I don't know. I'm not one of those Jets fans like, oh, I want to beat Belichick. It might be his last game as a Patriot. Like, does it really matter if you lost 15 in a row?
Right.
So now you're what, 1-15 instead of 0-16?
Right.
Like, who really cares? You know, I get the guys, they don't always want to lose, but when you're, it's the end of the
I
season.
guess that's what they're there for, right? They're not supposed to want to lose no matter what the situation is.
No, you're not wrong, but it was just like a dud game. It's not like, and the Patriots are even crappier than the Jets.
Yeah. I mean, it was what we expected, right? It was nothing short of what was expected.
I'm sure.
What were we talking about? The under was
25.
25, and they didn't even get there.
No, they got to 20, which was impressive enough since the Patriots only scored 3 of them. And if you would have told me the Jets would have beat the Patriots 17-3, I'd have been shocked. But yeah, they that was a waste of a game. The Giants, another one, but they actually had playoff implications on that game. So
Thanks, Giants.
yeah, the Giants actually helped the Cowboys, even though all the Cowboys had to do was win, which they did convincingly. So it really wasn't that much of a big deal. But if you would have saw Dallas struggle and or maybe lose, the Giants would have helped them out, and they still would have won the division. So the Giants did their part, which was a lot of fun.
It kind of took away from it because they were both playing at the same time, right? So it was kind of it might have been different had the Giants played earlier,
right?
And the Cowboys hadn't played yet. Now
Yeah, I mean, it still had implications to the game for a little bit. But you're right. If the Giants played at 1, which they normally would have, it would have added a little fuel to the fire.
Yeah, I mean, it would have definitely changed things because the Cowboys probably would have sat everybody at that point, right?
Why was that a 4 o'clock game?
I don't know, because they're on the East Coast, so normally it's a 1 o'clock game. You know what it is? They pushed it to 4 so that Dallas would have to play their guys because you wouldn't know.
Right.
So that's why that makes sense.
Really?
Yeah. Because they wanted that game to be competitive. You know what I mean? Or maybe they have another reason, but that's just what I'm thinking is they wanted Dallas's guys to play, and
strange the East Coast,
Yeah.
Giants say, well, yeah, I mean, besides the night game, right?
Like, if anything, where was the Dallas-Washington game? Was it in Washington?
Yeah.
Oh, so that was on the West Coast too. I mean, East Coast too. So
yeah,
you couldn't even put them at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because I would have thought if it was in Dallas, you probably could have put them at 1 o'clock. Might have made a little bit of sense. But whatever. Then you had what'd you have? The Texans and Colts winning your aim type of game. Now that was a good game.
Yeah.
And it went down pretty much to the wire. There were some stupid plays in that towards the end that I didn't understand what the Colts what they were doing. But you lose and they're out of the playoffs, and
Yeah, good for C.J. Stroud, right?
Yeah,
he's rookie season.
He's been the story of the year, I would say, for the very least. And he's still, even though he missed a couple games with a concussion, he still should be rookie of the year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Without a doubt.
For sure.
And you could see the difference between when he's on the field with them and when they're not. When he was out, I don't think they won those 2 games. When he's on there, they're winning the games, no matter what. So I'm wondering how he's gonna play against Cleveland in his home stadium.
It should be a good game. I mean, Cleveland's a little banged up, right? They've been a little banged up the last couple of weeks, so it should make for a really good game.
Yep. Then we move along to the next important game, which was this was a Saturday game. It was the Steelers-Ravens, which the Ravens weren't really playing anybody, and it was still a close game. Still a competitive game. But you always get that with the Steelers-Ravens and even the Steelers-Browns. Like, the Steelers always know how to be pesky no matter what, and they're not going to blow you away. They're just going to try and win the game, which is what they wind up doing.
They have good receivers now, too.
Yeah, and, they are doing something that only the Browns, I think, have been able to do is win with your backup quarterback and consistently. Because they've used 3 quarterbacks themselves this year.
Yeah.
So for them to be 10-7, and at the time on Saturday when they won, they needed to win in order to have a chance to be in the playoffs. They needed the Jaguars to lose, then they make the playoffs, which we'll get to that game next. But all they had to worry about is them winning first, and that was on Saturday, and they took care of business. And it's funny, earlier in the season, people were calling for Mike Tomlin's head, and I didn't even realize he's been coaching the Steelers for 17 years.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. While I was watching the game, I was trying to think of how long ago that he's been there. That's rare. That's rare in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, he almost has as long a time as Belichick with the Patriots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is impressive, And he's never had a losing season.
No.
which is even crazier because even Bill Belichick couldn't do that.
No, definitely not. I mean,
He's never had a losing season?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Which is even more impressive.
And think about it, over the last, 60 years, I think they've only had 3 head coaches.
Was he there?
Really?
Yeah.
Did he did he coach them prior to Roethlisberger rookie year?
No.
That was his first year.
No. I think Cowher was coaching.
Really?
Yeah. Does Tomlinson have a Super Bowl win?
Yes.
Yes.
So he only has the
Versus
one.
Arizona.
Okay, so he only has the one. Because I think Cowher has the other one.
Cowher has one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's another guy. So we get through that. So now we get to the Jaguar-Titans game. And, it's funny. I thought it was going to be somewhat of an easier win for the Jaguars, and everyone was picking the Titans, right?
Mm-hmm.
They saying they were going to upset them and win because Vrabel just doesn't like to lose and this, that, and the other. He was all fired up before the game and over the weekend, when he was answering questions from the media.
Right.
And, for all the things that we talk about Trevor Lawrence, he was not sharp at all in this game.
Yeah, I definitely think that
Playing hurt.
people were expecting much bigger things out of him this year.
Yeah, and you're right, Wanda. He did get hurt, so he might still have some after effects
He
of it.
looked off.
And yeah, he was way off. Some of his passes were way off, interceptions. If you look at the score, it was 28-20, and it looked close, but in hindsight, it really wasn't that close of a game. The Titans are just rolling. If the Titans were any better, they would have smoked the Jaguars. But give Jaguars credit, they fought hard.
Had a good game too. Right?
Yeah, big game. Then you had with that, so the Jaguars lose. Now the Steelers are in, and I'm not sure what seed they have. They have the 7th seed.
Derrick Henry. I just said Travis Henry. Also a running back.
Yes.
Bills.
So the Steelers are the 7th seed, right?
Looking it up right now.
Either which way, the Steelers are in the playoffs, and we'll talk playoff picture in a few minutes, but we'll keep it rolling to the other games on Sunday. The Seahawks-Cardinals, that was a really close game. Seattle squeaks it through. They also needed to win and needed help, but they didn't get their help, so they're out. Then you had the Packers-Bears. The Packers needed to win, and they were in, and they got it. That wasn't really an exciting game either. Not much offense. They beat the Bears 17-9. Chiefs-Chargers, we're not going to talk about because it doesn't matter. Broncos-Raiders, doesn't matter. Even though both those teams had a lot of issues this year, and to finish 8-9, that's it's not terrible, right? They could come up for next year and maybe be a playoff contender.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Yup. So, and then, like I said, to round it off, you had the Eagles-Giants we already talked about, and then the Rams-49ers. The Rams were already in the playoffs whether they win or lose, so they still beat the 49ers, though, which was, I guess, kind of nice. The 49ers were playing Sam Darnold in that game.
Okay.
So, take that for what it's worth. They were resting Purdy.
Did they rest the other guys too, or?
I'm sure they did. I don't really remember. We weren't really focusing on that game too much.
Gotcha.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had to have because the game meant nothing for them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. Meaningless. Yeah.
Well, I know Cup didn't play.
Well,
He might have been hurt.
I know that
Nuka.
Did that guy get
Ayuk
it?
played, right? Because we saw him catch a couple of passes, which was surprising enough as it is. But
Did the Rams rookie? Did he get his? I think he was. If he got a couple of catches, he was going to break the rookie record or something like that.
I don't know. He was playing the game. I don't know what happened with him.
Okay, or something like that. I forget.
Puka
Puka.
Nukua.
I know that CeeDee Lamb had a monster game and ended up breaking all the Cowboy receiving records.
Oh, that's good. And then we had the night game, the Bills-Dolphins. So they, at this moment, I think they were really just playing for seeding. Winner of the division, gets the 2nd seed. The loser goes down to the 6th seed. And it wasn't the best of games. 21-14 was the score. It had its moments. Neither team looked like...
Great.
Yeah, not just great, but Tua didn't look really good. But Miami's has so many injuries, so it's kind of tough to judge them. But they got to get it together because now it's playoff time. So no excuses. Play like a champion and see what you could do in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. So now we go from that. Do we want to start our picks for next week? Or we want to give a little preview?
We can.
What are we going to do? I mean, we could do it in tandem, I guess, right? Because it's pretty much what we're doing.
Give a little recap of how we finished the regular season.
Yeah, let's do that. And then what do you think? Should we start a new counter or just keep it going on our record?
I mean, we could. I think we could just... Well, I think it's going to be kind of senseless to do that because we're going to have the majority of... the picks are going to be very similar, so... probably leave it at regular season and just see how we do for the playoffs.
All right.
All right.
So I'll go week to week with the playoffs. All right, give us our count of our overall standings for the entire year of the NFL 2003 season.
All right, so first, I guess we need to go over how we did in week 18.
Yes, let's do it.
We'll start off with Pugs,
Of course.
being that it wasn't the greatest of seasons for him, but he did finish up strong, going 4-0 this week.
Way to close it out.
Yep.
Yeah. The Wanderer finished 2-2, and I finished week 18 3-1, bringing our grand totals to Pugsy at 32-35, Ernie at 36-31, with a beefy 5 games over 500. And the
How beefy?
And the Wanderer bringing up the rear at 31-36.
Oh, I took over second
You took
place.
it in the last week.
Woo! So I'm not the biggest loser. And even though this is our first year doing this, hopefully we'll have many more years of doing these picks. We'll wait to see next year who the winner is next year. Since we really didn't bet anything on this year.
I know, next year we might have to do like a Kings of Opinion dinner.
Right.
And,
Something.
the loser pays.
Well, I suggest we don't even wait till next year.
Well, kind of tough to...
No. We start from scratch and we do the playoffs.
Well, the playoffs are going to be tough because it's...
Well, maybe you pick a little differently to try and get an edge. Someone just wants to wait till next year because he wants to go off on his victory tour of winning the season. That's fine. Okay, here we go.
Congrats, Ernie.
Ernie, job well done. Even though you took it over late in the season anyway, and you were a 2-2 master.
No, I was.
Yeah.
I think I was pretty much there.
No way. Until I went 0-4, I was a game behind you.
Yeah, but I've been in the lead for quite a long time.
I don't believe you. Anyway, we're moving along here. So, who's going to start off with their picks? I guess we're going to go first to last to first, or just...
Yeah, I don't think it's... yeah, however you want.
All right, you know what? I'll start it off being the middleman. I'll start it off. So, with the wild card week upon
Well,
us.
how about we do this? How about we just go game by game and then we each mention who we're going with, because it's going to be a lot of
all right, so
similarities.
let's start with Saturday, right? So we got the 4:30 game. It's the Browns versus the Texans. Texans at home in the 4 seed versus the Flacco Browns.
I got the Browns.
I also have the Browns.
And I have the Browns as well.
We're on
this
that
week, but
Flacco coming off the couch train, and hopefully keeps on rolling.
I mean, listen.
Their defense too. I would say superior.
I would say it's just more the defense.
Maybe that's the only thing that's
Separates.
got me taking the Browns, because honestly, the more I think about it,
Like, I could be swayed to take the Texans.
Yeah.
At home, too, no less.
Right.
You
Getting
know?
points.
Right. The only thing that's swaying me to the Browns is if their defense really shows up like they have all year, it's going to be tough for C.J. Stroud in his first playoff game to do something.
Yeah.
You know? Now, do I think he can't do something? Absolutely not. Like, he's got some good stuff. Like, can I see them winning?
He's obviously showed that the spotlight is not scaring him away.
No, exactly. I agree. Like, it's really, at that low, like, it's almost really like a coin toss, if you ask me, right? So, we're all picking the Browns, so we're all probably going to be losers because C.J. Stroud's going to throw 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and we're going to be 0-1 for game one. Now, the second game is Saturday night.
One of the sexier matchups here.
You think so? The 11-6 Dolphins versus the 11-6 Chiefs?
Well, yeah. I mean, think about it. The Chiefs have been the chalk in the AFC for a long time. And the Dolphins were like, the team on the up and up, but they seem to have fallen on some hard times recently. But, hey, any given Saturday evening, right?
Any given Saturday evening, folks, you heard it here first. It's a first here, so we got it. Any given Saturday evening. So who would you pick, Wanderer?
Yeah, I ended up going with the Chiefs. I just... I feel like they're the more tested, proven team. As you alluded to, the Dolphins have a lot of injuries. So that's the way I'm leaning.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough to not pick Kansas City. I also pick Kansas City with the spread 3.5.
Kansas City kind of down low too. Not playing great.
A lot of drop passes by them. But I feel like in the playoffs, Patrick Mahomes is 11-3 in all playoff games. Right. You also have Andy Reid. I feel like they're gonna have a game plan for Miami where, not that it's gonna be like, not that they're gonna blow them out. They're just gonna win. And we may lose this one on the points. Like, it may be closer than the 3.5 that they're giving Miami. At the same time, I really don't care. Like, I think just Kansas City's going to win this game.
Yeah,
you know
me too. I'm taking the Chiefs as well. Neither team has played particularly well of late, but as we know, the Chiefs have been there for, it seems like, ever, and this is the time where you're expecting the cream to rise to the top. So I think the Chiefs are gonna punch him in the mouth.
Yeah, I can totally see it. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Patrick Mahomes turns into, not his old self, he's still the same guy, but like he just starts slinging it all over the place, and it's almost like a blowout. Because if Josh Allen can do it, Mahomes can do it, no problem. And Miami on the defensive side is a little weak. They had 3 guys that got hurt yesterday. All 3 are going to be out next week. Already they're done. So that's going to weaken them.
They lost like one of their leaders.
Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, Chubb.
Yep. Yeah, he's out too. So they're very thin on defense. So that would only increase Kansas City's odds. So now let's go with the first Sunday game, which is a 1:00. The 10-7 Steelers visiting the 11-6 Buffalo Bills. I'm actually surprised that this game is not later, because the Bills and Steelers are so hot right now. But Ernie, give us your take.
I'm going with the Steelers. Not too confident that they're going to end up winning the game, but Buffalo given 9.5 is a bit high.
Big number.
And it seems like every game they play, whether they win or lose, it's always a close one, or at least lately it's been very close. So just because of the points, I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Steelers with the points. I think the Bills will win. I even think the Bills will win by a touchdown, but I think it's going to be a hard-fought battle in Buffalo. We just had a big snowstorm. It'll be clear by Sunday, but you don't know what other weather we're going to get, and Buffalo's always cold. However, it's the same in Pittsburgh, so you're not gaining anything there. No. It's not like the Buccaneers are going to play the Bills, and it's a warm, state where they play, and the cold will affect them. The Steelers are not affected by the cold. The only thing they got to worry about is running the ball. If they run the ball well, the Steelers, that's going to be a close game. If they don't, it's going to be a blowout. But I'm still taking a chance on the Steelers because, like we said earlier, with Mike Tomlin, he's always got a game plan. He's always got a winning record. Even if he loses, he's going to make it a game. That much I know.
Yeah.
What about you, Warner?
I'm actually going with Buffalo.
We have a different one now.
There you go. First different. First, it only took
Choo choo.
4 games.
Right.
All right. So I'm hoping. I mean, it is a lot of points, but I'm hoping that they keep surging like they have been doing in the second half. Although obviously they didn't play great last night, as Pugs was saying, but I'm hoping, at home for the playoffs with the Bills Mafia there. Hopefully they can get it done and cover the big number.
Sweet. Next game, which is the 4:30 game, it's the Packers on the road against the good old faithful Dallas Cowboys. I'll let you guys lead on this one.
Well, you know where I'm going with it. I've been there for them every game this year. I'm not swaying that. Another big spread, 7.5. Cowboys are at home, thank God. Hopefully they keep playing the way they've played all year at home, and they take it to the Packers.
Wanda?
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Dallas. It is a big number, but I think they cover it. And, at home they're, usually firing on all cylinders. I think it continues Sunday.
Let's see a nice 13 reception, 180-yard game from CeeDee Lamb, 2 touchdowns.
How about get Tony Pollard involved? Like, he needs to have a big game like that too, because they're going to need, after this game, whoever they play next week, they're going to be on the road most likely. They're going to have to play, actually no, they might not be on the road if they win. They might get another home game. That's where you guys are going to excel. Like you guys said, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but they play well at home. They're at home. They're going to win. It's just a question about how big are they going to win. So I also took Dallas, and I'm hoping that they win by at least 8 points. So, yeah, that's about it. And then we got the Sunday night game. This game has a potential to either be a super dud or a super blow-up game. And I'll tell you why. It's the Rams at the Lions, right? And it's a little... Both teams have a really good defense. So if it's a defensive game, that's why I said it could be a dud game. Like, you'll see like a score of like 17-10 or something like that, which isn't a lot. But if both quarterbacks are clicking, it could also be a high-scoring game.
Yeah.
And the fact that this game, the reason why it's on 8 o'clock is one reason only, and it's Matthew Stafford. He's coming back to Detroit after they traded him, and he's playing his old team. And what's even funnier is Goff's also playing his old team.
Right.
So that's why this is 8 o'clock game.
They were traded for
Yeah,
each other.
of course. I know. But that's why it's an 8 o'clock game. They want that game to be a blowout game. Like, they want that to be like 42-37, something crazy, where it's just back and forth, no defense. And it could, like I said, it could go either which way. With that being said, I took the Lions at -3.5.
I as well took the Lions. I like the Lions. I like what they've done this year. I like what Dan Campbell's done with the team. Other than the Cowboys, as far as the NFC goes, if I have to pick a team to root for, I'm rooting for the Lions.
Yeah, me too. I like that.
I also picked the Lions. They have a good defense. I think they're clearly, the better team, and we'll see if Goff gets his revenge.
Yes, we'll see. And, I mean, either quarterback can get their revenge because they were both traded away, right? Someone's getting the blood. Someone's getting the blood. And the last game, it's a Monday night 8 o'clock game. Is the Eagles and Buccaneers. I really, 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 really wanted to pick the Bucs.
I think we all did.
But after I watched them play against the Carolina Panthers yesterday with all their guys, and they won 9-0 in Carolina, I don't see
last week too.
Yeah, I don't see how the Eagles, even though they're going to be playing on the road, I don't see how the Eagles could lose to the Bucs.
I mean, what a horrible finish to the season for the Eagles. I mean, there was a time there where, they were right. They were right there at the top.
They were 10-1 in Week 12.
And this has been a couple of years now too with that high-powered offense.
Yeah.
And man, they fell hard and quick. And again, I was thinking about picking against them too, but ultimately, I figured 3 points against a mediocre team. I think they can cover that. So at least for one more week, I think the Eagles are stick around.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. If the Eagles' spread was 5, I would have picked the Bucks. 3 is almost like so close. Like the Eagles have a better, more talented team, I should say.
My opinion, and I took the Eagles as well, but I think the Eagles is going to be a very similar situation with the Chiefs, where they've been struggling of late, but cream rising to the top kind of thing, where I think they're going to find a way to put it together and put this one through. And just getting back to the Cowboys, with the Cowboys being the number 2 seed, obviously San Fran with the bye is going to play the lowest remaining seed, right, after this week's games.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys would then play
the next
to last seed. So being that they're the 2, if they win, they're playing another home game.
Yeah. They're playing 2 weeks of home games.
Yeah.
Which is huge for you guys.
That's huge.
Huge. Huge.
Did Jalen Hurts break a finger or something yesterday?
I don't think so.
No, I didn't hear anything like that.
I thought I saw like a picture or a headline or something like that.
I don't know. But either which way, I think those round off our picks for the wild card weekend that's coming up. It's going to be exciting.
Best weekend in football.
Yeah, you think so?
Easily.
All right. That's your opinion. You can stick to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue. This is going to be a great weekend of football.
I don't know. To me, I always love the Super Bowl. I get that there's more games on this weekend, but for me, Super Bowl weekend ends everything, starts anew, other chapters in our sports lives. It's just a culmination of a lot of great things. It's
Yeah, but, I mean, really, in all honesty, if
you hope you get
someone you're rooting for is not in the Super Bowl, you can take it or leave it, in my opinion.
Really? Even with all those Super Bowl boxes?
Well.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool.
So that's why it's means so much to you.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you could win some extra money, it means a little bit. I ain't got money on these wild card games, I'll tell you that. Actually, I do. But anyway, irregardless, that's our picks. That ends our little football segment for this week. And then we'll move on. I mean, there wasn't much in baseball.
Was there anything?
The Mets signed that guy Manaea that used to be on Oakland.
Oh, Manaea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Sean?
Sean, yeah. Then he was on Toronto or something.
Yeah, and now the Mets got him. So that's the only signing that I know of.
I don't think I really like that. I mean, I wasn't aware of it because I haven't really been paying attention, but I don't know. I don't think he kind of fell off. I feel like a little bit.
To be fair, the Mets need a lot of pitching. Yeah. So anyone they signed that was ever good to bring over here, and he wasn't terrible, I don't think, with the Blue Jays or wherever he was from. I don't even remember. Yeah. But just give him you have nothing to lose at this point.
Big arm,
yeah. Yeah, like if he winds up figuring it out again and he winds up being good for you, then so be it. It's only a 1-year deal, so it's not. Oh no, it might be a 2-year deal for $28 million. So it's not a big deal. The Mets have money to spend, so they should be okay. What's anything going on crazy with basketball recently?
Knicks, I saw won Friday and Saturday. Friday
nice.
Philly, and then kept it up on Saturday.
They're playing well. So let's see how this trade works out. He's been playing.
What's their record right now?
Good.
Anything good?
They're like the 5th seed in the.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
Randall and
they're the 6th seed. They're tied for the 5th seed.
Right, with Cleveland and Orlando.
Yeah, so they're tied for the 4th seed, 21 and 15.
Right.
I think Randall and Brunson have been playing well as of late. always good, I guess, right? When your top guys are.
Oh yeah, and they're both going to be all-stars, which is great. It's just the basketball is just a cluster all the time. Like none of this means anything until you get to the playoffs.
Right.
But whatever. Anyone been watching anything good? Like I told you guys, I was getting ready to watch Top Boy. I only watched like the first episode, so it was a little slow. But obviously, the first couple episodes are gonna build up. Oh, is it 3 seasons?
I think so.
No, wasn't it more than 3 seasons?
I
No,
thought it was 3. I could be off.
It could be. You might be right. It might be 3, but
I think it's 3.
Yeah.
Do you know there's something else called Top Boy Summer something?
That's the first season.
Is it
Yep. Summer House.
Summer House? So that's that's the one I had to watch first.
Yep.
No, I messed that up. Why are they different? So Summer House is before the other Top Boy, so it's 4 seasons altogether.
I guess.
I don't remember the number.
You guys are terrible at this. What the F is going
I
on?
don't know the numbers.
You guys, I love this show so much, but you don't know? Like, I can tell you any show I watch, how many seasons are on.
I just told you what the first season is.
No, it's
Most
not so much
important.
you, it's this guy. You're like the cook on the Muppets.
I just watch them.
Beady,
I
beady,
don't
beady,
care how
beady,
many
beady, beady.
seasons there are, how many episodes there are.
Well, when we're
I just
doing a
watch
show,
them.
you should be prepared for this. You know I'm going to ask you. Anyway, so now I watched the first of Top Boy. I watched the first episode of Top Boy, so I have to go back and watch Summer House first.
Yeah.
And then go back to the other thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad at least I didn't waste so much time, because I would have killed you guys if I was like halfway through season 1 and then, because now I don't know, I guess it gives you a lead up of the characters.
Yeah, it's just chronologically how it develops.
All right, well, I just started watching that. I finished What If.
How was that? Yeah, not great.
So,
I watched a couple.
of the season 2?
Yeah, I saw the first one with, it was okay. I fell asleep during the one with, what's the guy's name? Star-Lord.
Right.
I fell asleep during that one.
When he's the kid.
Yeah.
Right?
And I don't remember anything else.
To me,
I
like,
only watched 2 or 3.
oh, so this is coming out tomorrow, actually. Echo. I heard there's a few cameos. Daredevil's in it.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
excited for that?
I wasn't excited, but once I heard Daredevil was going to be in
really
it,
pull me in.
let me give you. Well, we'll get to that in a second. But What If has a lot to do with Captain Carter in this.
Oh, okay. Agent Carter?
No, she's Captain Carter.
Okay.
She's Agent Carter in our universe, but this is What If. So now,
right, that makes sense.
So now she became. It's almost like she's Captain America, but she's Captain Carter.
Okay.
But it has a lot to do with her in these 9 episodes. I'll tell you this though, most of them are like hit or miss, but they're only like 20-something minutes. So if you get through the 8,
Right.
some of them are good. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, some of them are semi-entertaining.
Yeah.
Some of them are terrible. Like that one you just said with Star-Lord was like,
Throw away.
yeah, like whatever. However, they give you like the alternate Avengers. Like Hulk is not really in it. Like Thor's not in it. There's other people.
Mm-hmm.
But the last episode of
It's good.
it is really good because they do a lot of fighting and there's a lot of superheroes. It's almost like a cartoon version of almost Endgame.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit. Like because like in the background you see like, without ruining for you see a bunch of people fighting and they're pulling people and this and that and like. You see a lot of different characters in the last episode, so it was cool. But other than that, like they could have did a
Almost
better
like
job.
a Royal Rumble.
Exactly like that, as a matter of fact. And then one of the episodes, they created a new Native American character. I forget her name. The episode wasn't bad, and she has some wild powers. She's in the last episode as well. I don't know if she's going to be canon and then eventually make like her in a movie or something like that. But she has some insane powers.
Oh, really?
Oh, insane. I think that's like episode 6 or something like that, or 7. But I don't know. Other than that, we're up to date on Monarch. You're almost up to date.
Wait,
You're an episode behind. You know what's funny? I might have to watch that episode again because I forgot a lot of it already.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
It was when I remember, but that's why I hate watching TV shows when you have to pay attention to it late at night.
Yeah.
Because then you wake up the next day or like a couple days later, you kind of forget what you watched.
Yeah.
So.
Might have to watch it right before you watch the next one.
But what I vaguely remember is they're in the other realm underneath like in the middle of the earth.
Yeah.
And that was dope. That looked dope to me. But yeah, you gotta check it out. We'll talk about that, I guess, more next week.
Been very good. Much. It seems like it's been a lot better than you would have ever expected it to be, right?
Yeah, well, especially after the way he sold it, the
Right.
first episode or two,
Right.
I went in there expecting to hate it, and then I didn't hate it.
Right.
So I guess that had something to do with it. So I'd have to thank you.
Oh, sure.
Thanks,
Anytime,
pal.
brother.
You know,
It's
next time, shit on another show so I can enjoy it. But yeah, it's pretty good. I can't wait to this Friday to see what that episode's about, because they have to tie it in one way or another. What's happening? And like, is there going to be a second season? Because there certainly could be a second season.
Yeah.
I just don't know how they're going to end it. But like, they're in between two movies.
Yeah.
They're in between the first Godzilla movie and then the second one, King of Monsters, I think, when they attack San Francisco. So like, they're right after the first movie and a little before the second one. So you could have a whole nother like season.
I've never been big into those movies, and I couldn't tell you if I even remember either one of them. But so this show kind of ties into the movies, is what you're saying?
1,000%.
Oh.
When that girl Kate relives Godzilla crashing through the Golden Gate Bridge, like that's in the movie.
Oh.
But it's just a different angle. Like
Gotcha,
that's why like they refilmed that, which I thought was cool. Because when we were talking about it, I thought it was gonna be like flashbacks and like they're gonna use clips from the movies. Then I thought it was gonna be a cheesy way to do the show. But that's why I like it so much. It's not like that.
Wow.
There was like one flashback that I can remember that was from the movie, but they took it on a different angle, which means either they didn't put that in the movie or they added her into the shot and then did it like in a green screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's still a different angle, which means they still had to do something with it. It wasn't the same as the movie, which was cool to me. You know? I don't know. But yeah, I can't wait till this week, the show, Monarch, to finish up. And then Reacher is right around the corner. I'm going to start that next week because his last episode is next week.
Next week is the last episode?
Yeah, you got this Friday and then next Friday.
Oh,
so I'll start it on
episodes.
Monday.
Gotcha.
And then by the time I get to Friday, I should be close. If not, then that comes out and I'll finish it by Saturday. But yeah.
And then you got to work on Fargo.
Well, how am I going to... You guys got to tell me, how do I work Fargo?
Well, again, no season ties into another season.
Right.
Every season is a different story.
So I'm going from now backwards?
It's up to you. I mean, because this one is still going on. So
Yeah.
I know you don't like to start anything before it's done. So
Well, how many episodes are left?
I can't imagine more
Is it
than
one?
a couple.
Is
Maybe,
Yeah. I mean, you guys have been watching it for a
after
little bit.
this last episode, just one more, I would think.
I think there might be. I think
It should only be 10, right?
I'm not sure.
It's an FX show, right?
Yeah.
So it's 10. So if you guys are up to like 8 or 9, there's 1 or 2 left.
Yeah, but I mean, you can start from season 1 and just work your way through it. It's just every season's been great.
Well, I gotta get through Top Boy, and then I gotta get through Reacher. So it's gonna take me a little bit of time. We'll see. And then I think I'm watching Poker Face too soon. That's gonna be my show to watch here.
What's Poker Face?
Something on something, I don't remember.
And what do you mean your show to watch here?
Like here in the apartment, like while I'm just relaxing watching TV.
stationary.
Oh,
Yeah.
because you're watching usually when you're
Yeah. Like
Poker
you're watching
Face.
football.
Oh, Poker Face is the one with the chick from Orange is the New Black, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just heard it was
so.
good.
Really?
That's what I heard, yeah. So it's on my list. I'm gonna watch that next. We'll see where that goes. Any shows you're watching, Wonder?
Yeah, I watched this. I guess it was like a mini series, Blue Eyed Samurai on Netflix. It was pretty good.
Is it
I
the
liked
sequel to Green Eye Samurai, or is that just a different thing?
Oh, you're a funny boy, right? It was. It's like an animated thing.
Okay.
I guess similar to What If, with like that. It like looks real, but it's animated at the same time. In Japan. It takes place in Japan. It was. It's pretty violent too. I enjoyed it. It was Mike Wells, our friend, put me onto it. And,
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good on Netflix.
Are you watching Invincible yet?
I think I watched some of the second season, but it hasn't really pulled me in yet.
No, really. The first 4 episodes are out, and they're dropping the next 4 soon. So I'm waiting for it to drop.
Okay.
That's the first season of that was really good. It's another cartoon, like a
First season,
superhero.
yes. I
First
did
season was
enjoy the
dope.
first
It was
season.
crazy. It's like another weird spin. Like, did you ever watch The Boys on
No.
Prime? That you gotta watch. You'll love that. That's right up your alley.
Oh, I did watch something else because you said The Boys that triggered it. The Covenant with Jake Gyllenhaal on Prime.
Oh, the movie.
Yeah,
And
it was really good.
really, I want to watch that.
And the reason when you said The Boys, I thought of it is because what's his name's in it for a second. What's the bad guy? Or the main guy, I should say.
I haven't watched it yet, pal.
The Boys?
Oh, The Boys. This blonde guy, Homelander.
Homelander's
Yeah.
he's in it for like a second.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I gotta
Yeah,
watch
it was,
that.
It was good. Guy Ritchie, I think, directed it, so I was kind of surprised seeing him direct like a war, not a war movie per se, but
All right.
that type
That
of
genre.
Yeah, that genre. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Very well
I got
done.
you. I'm right here.
Look at you.
I'm here for you. I'm here for you, pal. Speaking of the war genre, don't you have something that we should be watching on Netflix with the wars?
Yeah, I just finished today actually the World War II documentary.
And
Oh, I heard that was good. Yeah.
how many episodes?
Very good. It's 3.
Hour and a half apiece.
Oh
So
no. It's more than 3. I'm sorry, it's more than 3, but they're all very long. I think it was 5 or 6 altogether.
Oh wow.
But they're an hour and change each. But
I'll have to check.
very, very good.
Thank you.
That was one crazy bastard. And then I didn't even.
You're a crazy bastard.
No,
Hitler?
Hitler. But I didn't even. It's like you learn about this stuff growing up, and then you really
Right.
don't.
No,
I'm
you
not,
get
I'm
like
not,
a little.
I'm
You
not
get like
much of a history buff, but
Yeah.
I had completely forgotten the fact that Hitler, once everything was going down the toilet, he shot himself.
Yeah,
Fucking pussy, man.
That's what they say.
this bunker, right?
There's conspiracy theorists out there that would tell you something different. Let's
Well,
like that.
I mean, regardless, however he died, he needed to die, but
Of course.
It was needed death.
Yeah, much needed death. Jesus.
I mean, it just goes to show you that some of these guys that they're so quick to, be fucking crazy and tell everybody what to do, but then when push comes to shove, if he in fact shot himself, that's just such a puss bag thing to do.
Yeah, 100%. It's the coward's way out, as they normally say.
And the first of all, the fact that it lasted, what was it,
That long?
5 years or 6 years, and how many? They said in total, when it was all said and done, it was 60 million people perished. I mean, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. That happened. I mean, you were just a young boy when that happened, right?
Negative.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I apologize.
What I did find interesting is when they were talking about in one of the last episodes when they started to take back Italy from the Germans, and they started out in Sicily, and they were there in Sicily taking over in 43, which my dad would have been 2 years old. So it was like, it's like funny. It's not something that we've ever talked about, and I'm sure he doesn't remember anything
Right.
about it because he was so young. But obviously his parents and stuff.
Who was taking it back? The United States were taking it back from Germany?
Yeah, when the Allies
Allies
went into.
Sicily.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, because Italy was part of the Axis powers?
Yes,
Yeah.
because Mussolini.
Yeah, yep. Wild. Very wild. Anyone got anything else? Anything? Once? Twice?
No.
Ding, sold. Go with the music, Wander. Let's
Get
go.
us out of
Let's wrap it up for Monday
All right,
before the
3
playoffs.
picks, as usual. First up, we got Jeff Markey with Sports and Leisure. Second up, this is This was not planned. The Mussolini with Uptown Bandits too. And third off, we have Temps with Party Gator Purgatory. So those are the 3 picks for this week. And that's all.
All right, folks. That wraps up our episode for this week. Everyone enjoy the week. Hopefully you guys have just as much fun as Wander's going to have with the best week in football coming up with Wild Card Weekend. I know I will be enjoying all the football. I'll figure out a way to watch it all weekend long.
Not much of a surprise as to where we'll be all week.
No, we'll be watching the games somewhere all week. Shout out to Fallon's. We'll see you there at the very least on Sunday, probably Saturday too. But yeah, that's it, folks. That's all we got. Anything else?
That's it. Take care.
All right. Enjoy the week, guys.
See
Peace
you in the next
out.
cartoon.